With the economy weighing heavily on people's minds and jobless claims reaching a 26-year high, how far would you go to help your family? Our number 2 story, one man's act of desperation. After being unemployed for months, a man held up a convenience store with his 9-year-old daughter by his side. 42-year-old Robert Daniel Webb robbed $200 from the AM/PM Mini Mart in Ellensburg, Washington early Tuesday morning. Webb then stopped at the home of an acquaintance in Northern California last night. He asked a friend to watch his daughter while he ran some errands. That acquaintance, the father of a local sheriff's deputy, contacted police when he learned that Webb was wanted for drunk driving and robbery. The girl is waiting to be reunited with her mother. After leading police on a high-speed chase, Webb remains at large. Our correspondent is Michael Oku.
The suspect and his daughter looked harmless, if not typical enough, entering the gas station convenience store at 3 a.m. Tuesday. But watch seconds later as the man pulls a gun on clerk Eric Owens and demands cash.
You're going to give me this and what she's got.
His 9-year-old daughter, dressed in pink, just inches away.
How many criminals take a child to a crime scene? It's just bizarre. I was stunned. You have a kid standing next to you. What are you doing this for?
Open the till and got me what you have.
Owens emptied the register, less than a couple $100, before the suspect explained himself.
Call the cops, I'll come back and I'll kill you. I'm out of work. My daughter's got to survive.
Authorities identified the suspect as 42-year-old Robert David Webb, unemployed for months.
There's too many unpredictable things. He's making poor choices now that are not just endangering himself, it's endangering her.
I've been homeless. My son and I lived on the streets in Seattle. I know what hard is, but resorting to crime is not the solution.
Michael Oku, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Joining us on the phone is Eric Owens, the store clerk that was held up Tuesday morning by Robert Daniel Webb. And Mr. Owens, thanks for joining us. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm pretty tired. It's kind of hard to sleep. I've been inundated with interviews.
Did you get a sense that anything was wrong when Mr. Webb and his daughter walked into the store?
No, actually, they seem very normal, like most customers. I see parents with their kids all the time, and they came in the store, they walk around, they grab a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That was all very normal to me. Up until the point when he walked up to the counter and set the coffee down, and I noticed that he had a cup inside of a cup, and I have to charge for it because of the barcoding and all that. So up to that point, it seemed normal.
And what was going through your mind during the holdup portion?
It was getting pretty serious pretty rapidly, and my initial shock was that, hey, this is just a cup of coffee, and you're getting this angry over coffee? What's this all about?
Did you feel empathy towards Mr. Webb at any point?
I didn't feel empathy for him until after I'd given him the money, and then I walked around the other side of the counter, and he and I started having a conversation, because when he had asked me to walk around the other side of the counter, that was after I gave him the money, I thought, okay, this is an opportunity for me to diffuse the situation here so that things don't get worse. I've already given him the money, so he's got what he wants. So he's a little happier, he's a little calmer. So, okay, I'll talk with him. Maybe if I talk with him and I don't raise my voice and I'm not aggressive, maybe he'll calm down and maybe everything will be fine. When I talked with him, I looked at him in his eyes, and his eyes were watering up. I could tell this guy was hurting inside. He's hurting inside. He feels defeated, and he's probably given up hope, and he's desperate. He's acting out of desperation. It's quite possible he's a victim of the economy, and unfortunately, that's a bad choice to make to commit a crime, because there's a lot of other things you could do instead.
And I gather that you can relate to being a victim of the economy.
Absolutely, I can relate. I lost my wife in a car accident at a very young age. I became a single parent at the age of 27, and I raised 3 kids of my own from the time that one of them was in diapers. I raised them until they were fully grown, and I struggled for the entire time. I sold my blood to feed my kids. My youngest son and I were homeless, living on the streets in Seattle at one point in time. I know what hard is, but you know what? I never resorted to crime. There's always a way out. All you got to do is get on the phone and call a family member, a brother, sister, a parent, and say, look, can I live with you for a couple of months until I get back on my feet? go to a firehouse, go to a church, go to a homeless shelter, get some social help, get some food stamps. There's always a way. You don't have to involve your children in a crime.
Did you sense that Mr. Webb's daughter knew what was going on?
Actually, I'm glad you asked that, because there were a few times when I glanced at her and she had the most puzzled look, a look of puzzlement and a look of fear on her face, which of course is understandable because she's the victim here, not me. And I could tell that she was really confused and just didn't understand what was going on.
Well, Eric Owens, we're grateful you survived that holdup last night. We thank you for your time tonight, and good luck as you try to continue processing this unbelievable incident.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad the girl's okay.
We are too. Thank you.